Hey team, Kylie Unsworth here for BetaVet. Very excited to be here today with Dressage extraordinaire and top tip queen Vanessa Way. Thanks very much, Vanessa, for taking some time out of your busy schedule to have a quick chat with us today.
My pleasure, Kylie. Really pleased to be here and have a chat with you about your amazing products on BetaVet.
Perfect.
My horses love them and live on them.
That's fantastic. So the show season is about to kick off for you. Tell us about the horses you've got in your team and what are the biggest shows you'll be aiming for this season.
Well, I've got, for dressage, quite a big team. I've got 5 horses in work of my own, but I'll be mainly competing 3, potentially 4. The biggest shows for us is going to be actually at Takapoto. We have the final of the World Cup, and hopefully we'll have some Australian competitors here. This year will be one of the only seasons I don't have a Grand Prix horse, as I sold my last 2 Grand Prix horses last year for the younger team to move up. So I have 2 up and coming Grand Prix horses, and they'll be in the advanced level 7 section. So I'm really looking forward to them putting out some good performances. And then we start the season next week with Bay of Plenty. So it'll be local competitions for me. I am thinking at potentially taking the older of the team, my up and coming Grand Prix horse, to Sydney maybe in April, May, and doing a CDI over there at small tour just to see how he goes flying. But that'll be again depending on finances and how we're actually scoring. I want to be really scoring very high in my scores to do that really.
Right. So you recently managed to escape the New Zealand winter and jet set off to the UK to train with Carl Hester. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, well, I like to do that in winter because I live under a mountain, so any excuse to get away. And also it was a lovely time of the year to visit them. I try and do that every year and have done that up until COVID. For me, it's about going and seeing the training and the riding, and obviously they're in such a high standard. It's important that I keep seeing it, and I'm very lucky that Carl is so good to me. He's probably like sponsor a rider really, which is me, and so I did get to ride a lot, especially with Charlotte having just had her lovely Isabella, so I got a bit more riding opportunity. And it was just really, really amazing to feel the training. It's the quality of horses, but I still put it back to it's more about the training and the riding for us.
Right. So what have you had as your career highlights so far?
Well, I'm still waiting, I think. I think that's the neat thing about dressage. We can keep going for a very long time, and I do really want to think that there's many more World Games and Olympics on my horizon. For me, look, I've always loved competing abroad, and I had a really good win in England, which was still a really good moment for me at Myerscough, and competed in Australia for a few times, which I love those big shows. But I think it's just my favourite show's always been Horse of the Year for me, because I just love catching up with all my friends, and it's such a massive show, and it really feels something special when you win Horse of the Year to go into that show jumping ring. Probably my past youth looking at the jumps makes me excited. But yeah, so I think winning my Grand Prix Horse of the Year was a magical moment that I really enjoyed.
Perfect. So what has been the best horse you've ever sat on?
Well, I'm very lucky to say I have sat on the best horse in the world, and that was Valigro. So I did bribe Carl in to give me some lessons once when Charlotte was away, and it was amazing. And total credit to their training, how incredible that horse was. I remember Carl made me do an extended trot, and it was like a New Zealand facelift, because I went so like flying across the arena. I was like, my cheeks flew back, and I just felt so young. And I remember I said to him, wow, and he goes, that's not enough. I was like, geez Louise, where am I going now? So yeah, that was an incredible feeling. And I had trainers in the past that said, oh, if you didn't get off your horse, you weren't sweating or working hard, you weren't riding properly. Well, I can say that was totally wrong. I mean, my core was burning and my brain was fried, but it was not a physical game at all. It was incredible. It was more of a core great game. So yeah.
Right, you are now internationally renowned for your top tips.
Yes.
What is a top tip you can give us today?
Well, I think the top tip for me is surround yourself with a great team. You know, like I'm so lucky to have you, Kylie, who I can keep ringing up and asking questions with my performance team. And you've got so many absolutely amazing products, and you come back with actual science. I've got great farrier, great vets. I've got a really good friend, Christine Wheel, who's also part of the BetaVet team that helps me. I've got another couple of good trainers in Australia that works my position. I surround myself, and obviously Carl and Gareth, I surround myself by people that are a good team or a fit for me, and it's got to be your team of your people, and then believe in those people. And I think the hardest thing in our sport is jumping left or right. You need to find your people, research your people, and stick with your people. That would be my top tip today. That was a big one.
That's fantastic. Now, the question that everyone wants to know the answer to, what are your favourite BetaVet products?
Well, I am addicted to Prepare, and I keep saying if I was a millionaire, they'd all be on it. In fact, I'd probably put my husband on Prepare. That is definitely my favourite product. So, yeah, I just instantly notice a difference. It's a really weird difference. They just feel so much better, and they feel like to a horse that's maybe a little bit lazy, it becomes hotter, and to a hotter horse, it becomes more sensible. It's just like that magical tonic, really, that I really think is amazing. And then I've got a horse that has been the bane of my existence with his stomach issues. So the builder gut is his life support, really, and he's been life-changing on that. So anything, it's like a probiotic, it's like everything in there, and he's totally a different horse in every way. Again, the builder gut for him made him go from being a really hyper horse. He ate everything, but he was a very intense horse, and then since he's been on that product, he's a very much calmer horse and polled on the conditions, so much so that my good friend Christine has told me that he needs to potentially tighten up. So I think, that was amazing for a horse that was so hard to keep condition on, and obviously then muscle, to now be told that Arnold Schwarzenegger needs to rip up a bit ready for his comps is quite cool.
Did you notice a change in his movement at all?
Yes, big time, especially through the canter. It's weird. It is so weird. I mean, you're not probably meant to say that, but it is weird, and it was more for him, and I think it's a stomach thing for him. His palms were more connected to the left side, and so now for him, that has totally, it was his canter, you would not say left or right. So, and I've talked to other, and that's what other conversations I suppose, but I talked to your vet, and we're talking about the things about different stomach and a lot of placements to the left, and it was just interesting. So yeah, way better. And I think the stomach acid and splash affects the canter as well. Yep. People often tell you, don't ride a horse on an empty stomach, give it a handful of lucerne chaff. Acid splash up, especially if they've got stomach ulcers, can make a horse very uncomfortable. And so again with him, since he's been on this product, definitely a more relaxed horse, and the canter has been so great. And I even was a bit not sure whether this theory was going to go to the shows, so then to get a personal best on this horse since being on this product, and it was a great score of just under 76 and into one. There you go, proof's in the pudding.
Magic. Well, thank you very much, Vanessa, for your time. Fantastic catching up with you, and we'll see you again soon.
You will be. I'll be stalking you, Kylie, like the others.